welcome back to my channel, Planty Princess 92, where we talk about a whole lot of planty content. My name's Ashley, and in today's video I wanted to discuss the Aglaonema Pictum Tricolor. As you guys know, this is more of a rare plant. It's quite pricey, but it's extremely beautiful. This is a cultivated variety of the Aglaonema Pictum. It's originally found in the southern parts of China, Malaysia, and New Guinea, but the Aglaonema Pictum is found in Sumatra and Nias Island. This plant is found anywhere from 2,000 meters all the way down to 35 meters around volcanic slopes. So if you just get a good look at this foliage, it's really interesting. It's really unique. I've had this plant for about a week and a half now, and it's been doing quite well. So as you can see, the foliage on this plant is big, glossy, oval-shaped leaves. There's 3 variations of green. We have the dark green, the lighter green, the medium green, and then even like a whitish, silverish color variation that's in there. The stems and petioles stay rather short, keeping this plant a little more compact. It grows anywhere, it grows at its most, I should say, 2 feet high to about 2 feet wide as well. So this plant stays pretty compact. So it's a good plant if you want something really unique. It's really tropical looking, but it's great if you don't have a lot of room for plants. So getting into temperature and humidity on this little guy, this is a plant that can handle lower humidity to higher humidity, but it definitely appreciates and grows better in a higher humidity, as well as terrariums. Keeping this plant in a terrarium will, as you know, keep the humidity up, and it will help this plant to grow at a little faster of a rate. Temperatures for this is a little warmer. Their biggest weakness is cold and freezing temperatures. So basically, if you're not comfortable, she's not going to be comfortable. This would be best being kept in a east-facing window, a west-facing window, or even pulled back a decent amount from a south-facing window, giving it plenty of bright, indirect light. But as I would recommend, and I'm also going to be doing myself, I would take this plant out of the window during the colder seasons, keeping it away from the cold drafts that will quickly decline this plant. So this plant is considered drought tolerant since it can survive missing a watering or 2. But with that being said, it does not grow at its best, being water deficient. I water mine when the soil is maybe about 50% dry. I stick my finger down up to my second knuckle, and if I feel the soil is dry, I also stick a water meter in there just to read what that gauge says, just to kind of double check to make sure I am not overwatering this plant. Now it does like to stay moderately moist, although it does not like to be soggy, and it's very prone to root rot. But like I said, it will appreciate being moderately moist. So a great soil for this one here would be more of an airy mixture, yet with an addition of something that's a little more water retentive, so a peat moss or something similar. I use soil mixed in with a quarter peat moss and a quarter of either perlite or pumice to keep the soil, to keep the mixture airy, well draining, lets oxygen and air flow into the roots, but the peat or whatever similar that you choose still holds on to a little bit of that moisture, keeping this more moist for its liking. This plant is very easy to propagate. You can propagate this with stem cuttings, either water propagation or soil propagation, whatever you prefer. I like both. I guess it depends on what I'm propagating. With this though, I would probably do soil propagation, only because I would be fearful that its stem would rot. It probably wouldn't. I'm sure it would be fine, but that's just me. So if you were going to water propagate, you'd cut the stem, leaving a leaf to 3 leaves on the stem that you're cutting. Stick it in that water until it roots. And if you're going to soil propagate, you dust the cut end with a little bit of rooting hormone, stick it in your soil. Again, airy soil that retains a little bit of moisture, and keep it, again, moderately moist until you see that it is growing roots and growing foliage. This plant is toxic to pets and people. It contains calcium oxalate crystals, which if ingested can irritate the throat, giving swelling and even vomiting in severe cases, as well as skin and rash irritation if the juices from this plant get on your skin. So I would recommend wearing gloves when handling or trimming this plant, as well as thoroughly washing your hands when you're finished caring for this plant. This one it's a very unique plant, and it's very easy for beginners. So if you're a beginner and you're looking for something a little more exotic, a little more tropical, this would be a good route to take, because it's not a plant that, although you are spending a little more money on it, it's not one that would normally die off too quickly. So again, I just want to give you a close-up of the foliage because it's just really so beautiful. It's just amazing. It's amazing the different contrasts of colors, the different patterns that plants can have. It's extremely beautiful. So I want to thank you again for joining me in today's video. I hope you learned a lot about this plant. I know when I did my research, there was maybe 1 or 2 videos that I was able to come across. So I had to do a lot of research to figure out how to care for this plant. If you liked this video, consider subscribing, hit the bell for notifications to my new videos, and leave a comment below for any additional tips you'd like to add on the care of this plant. And thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Every plant's a princess.